Hi everyone, so we continue the Cheltenham review and this is day 3 and 4. Day 1 is available in the description. You can find the link to day 1. So who caught my eye in the Turners? So Grey Dawning obviously beat Genie's Destiny. I think we were right, he would have beaten him earlier this season. Of those in behind, there might be one maybe, that's Let's Be Clear About It, who I don't really think they know what they're doing with him. Similar to My Mate Mozzie, both of them been really highly tried, and I think they'd be better off in handicaps, both of them. Maybe they've got handicaps in mind with them, and I highlighted My Mate Mozzie for a handicap in video 1. Let's Be Clear About It into a handicap is one that I'm also looking forward to. Now, he went off 5-4 favourite 3 runs ago at Fairy House when running over... 3 runs ago, 5-4 favourite over 2 mile 1. He doesn't want 2 mile 1, but he doesn't want 3 mile either. He then stepped up to 3 mile for a graded race, and then they dropped him back to 2.5 for another graded race. Go 2.5 in a handicap, and I think Let's Be Clear About It is definitely one that can go well in a handicap. As I said, he's just short of graded class in my opinion, but when he runs in a handicap, I think he will be very, very interesting. With his kind of graded form to his name. Moving on to the Pemp Final, this one was a little bit frustrating for me in that we had, in our previous video, we talked about the 2 that I liked here were Le Milos and Montmirail. On the day, it was supposedly heavy going, so we took out Montmirail, and then the Turners ran and they said it was like more good to soft than heavy going, and Montmirail went and won it. We highlighted him. Did we put a Nagmi in? We didn't, but we did put one of our tweets up saying Montmirail traded short. When it gets better going in the Pemp Final, will run a big race, and he did, which was very frustrating because we took him out and we swapped him for Farouk Delaine on the basis that the ground was much softer than it appeared. Of those that I think is interesting, I still like Bold Endeavour. I thought that was a good run from another Nicky Anderson horse that wasn't in form. He still should be going over fences. Maybe it's next year that he'll go back over fences. Anything else that really caught my eye? Not really. It was disappointing for Le Milos. Maybe the ground went against him, but he might just not have been good enough. And we got the price based on the Dan Skelton angle and that he had qualified and looked well handicapped. But maybe he is just a chaser and needs to go back over fences. The 3:30, the Stayers Hurdle. We obviously highlighted Tierpo, who won it, and we highlighted Flooring Porter, who was second. Do you know what? I still think they went too early on Flooring Porter, though. I'm convinced they did. Turning for home, they're kicking clear. I don't think they needed to do that, which was frustrating if you were on Flooring Porter. Obviously, if you're on Tierpo, they set it up perfectly for Tierpo. It would not surprise me now if Tierpo can win this another... at least next year, potentially even the year after that as well. He's only 7 now. Next year he'll be 8. Then he could win it as a 9-year-old. He could win it as a 10-year-old. Yeah, there's got to be something new to come along. Otherwise, he could be that, because the likes of Florian Porter will be 10 next year and will be setting it up every year. Cider Burley will be 13. Surely won't go there. Styrian Volange will be 11. Surely won't go there. Noble Yates will be 10, surely won't go there. Dashwood Rush will be 12, won't go there. Paisley Park 12, won't go there. Janadil 11, won't go there. A lot of horses here that won't be running in the Stayers Hurdle. We could get a really small field next year for the Stayers Hurdle unless there's a couple to come out of the novice camp going forward. So Tierpo could win that a few years on the trot. The plate, obviously we were gutted with Crebilly finishing second on the basis that we had highlighted him at 13-2, being told that that was ridiculous. He went off shorter, he went off 7-2 and ran second. The ones to take out the race, well, I definitely want to take In Excelsis Dio out of the race. He got hampered at the top of the hill by Saint Felicien being brought down by Theatre Man. No, Saint Felicien was brought down by Rian, wasn't he? Both of those really badly hampered Crebilly. Really badly hampered In Excelsis Dio, who then was given so much to do after jumping poorly, and he absolutely motored home. There's definitely races in him. There is that. I think there's a race at the end of the season at Sandown over 2.5. Bearing in mind he was going to win at Sandown last year, last time out. The time before this run at Cheltenham. I think he's definitely one that is interesting next time. Similarly, I would be looking at both of these two down here. San Felician, who was brought down, and Theatre Man, who fell. Theatre Man on the basis that Harry Cobden was allowed to ride. Harry Cobden picked the ride. He was getting it right pretty much on a lot of his horses. Liberty Hunter, I think he would have gone close on Trelawney as well. So Theatre Man is definitely interesting going forward. And San Felician, the Rob Corr horses ran well. Most of them ran well at the Cheltenham Festival. He had been quite quietly fancied. And I think he went... Did he go mid? Yeah, he went when Rianne brought him down at the top of the hill. And yeah, I think he was still going quite nicely. He's won for a race back in Ireland. The 450, the Mares Novices Hurdle. Brighter Days Ahead will still come out to be the best horse, in my opinion. Over fences. When he goes over fences, he's still going to be... she's still going to be a very nice horse, sorry. And I think she will be the best of this field still. The Kimure won impressively by I Know the Way You're Thinking. Is going to go up in the loads in the handicap. The one who might be aimed at this race again is the 9-year-old Angel's Dawn, who was in the process of running a really big race when falling 2 out, I think. I think would have probably finished second, but being beaten by a ridiculously well handicapped horse. If they get Angel's Dawn back again next season as a 10-year-old off a similar weight, Mr. King will surely be looking to make amends for his fall at the second last. So he's one for next season. Moving on to the Friday, the Triumph Hurdle. Cargest ran a great race for us. Just got run down by Margeborough. We said they were the only two that was interested in, and they did finish first and second. Irish dominated here pretty much. Mighty Bandit pulled up. Very disappointing. I hope Warren Greatrix doesn't ruin that horse. He looks like he had some good form. Going forward, Cargest probably stays in Mare's company next year, I think. And they might go Cargest for the Mare's Hurdle and Lossiemouth for the Champion Hurdle, potentially. Maybe that's what Willie might try and convince those two owners. 210, the County Hurdle. Gutted in a way with Lodesud. I thought Harry did everything right here, and he was really watching. He was trying to see if anything was coming near him. I think he still wanted to win it a shade cosily. And he just got beat by a horse who had a rapid turn of foot, didn't he? Absurd. They went so slow that it's set up for the sprinter. Lodesud will surely be off to somewhere like Ayr for the Scottish Champion Hurdle. We'll wait and see his handicap mark. But if it doesn't go up too much, I'd be very keen on Lodesud for the Scottish Champion Hurdle. If they don't run there, they'll probably be back next season for the Greatwood Hurdle. But because Dan Skelton is going for the trainer's title now, the Scottish Champion Hurdle could be somewhere they look at. 3:30, the Gold Cup. Galopin Des Champs won it. Very impressive. Clearly the best horse in the race. Would have beaten everything if they'd got round, including the likes of Fast or Slow. Those in behind, Corrit Rambler ran a great race for the Grand National. A huge performance that is, with the Grand National in mind. The the Open Hunters Chase Challenge Cup, won by Sine Nomine. I think this was one of the best rides of the week for a horse that got beat. It's on the line. Although he went off the 11-to-8 favourite, never travelling, never jumping, never travelling. Looked like he was, most jockeys would have pulled him up with a circuit to go. He was that awful throughout the run, and yet he still finished a very good second. I think if he'd turned up on a going day, he would have won that comfortably. He didn't turn up on a going day, and yet the jockey gave him a fantastic ride to finish second. The Mare's Chase, JP won it with the other JP horse, beating Dino Bleu. He'd gambled him in the morning. They let it drift out again. They got a bit of a better price and then went and won. They were just too good for the rest. And finally, the last race of the day and of the festival, the Martin Pipe. This race will work out really well. I think Waterford Whispers was the best horse. Far too keen throughout the race. Still ran a great race for second. I also think a Castle de Motte will drop back in trip, back to 2 miles. Again, far too keen. Ran a great race. Kai de Bourbon will go over fences. He'll be very good over fences. And Better Days Ahead, I think, will be a very nice horse as well. And potentially over fences as well. I think Kai de Bourbon might go up to 3. whereas Better Days Ahead will probably stick to this 2.5 mile trip. Waterford Whispers, they could look at something like the Galway Hurdle with him. Same as Ocasa de Mott, drop them back in trip to 2 mile, and I think both of them would run really big races. I guess you have to give No Ordinary Joe mark up in the fact that he ran so well despite being from the Nicky Henderson yard, whose horses generally ran really poorly at Cheltenham and have been for the last few weeks. What do you do with him? I guess you go to Aintree now. He is 8, so you could save him for a return to Cheltenham. He did go to Aintree last year and he finished 7th. Maybe they could try and work back from this race again, the Martin Pipe, for a 3rd consecutive year. But I do think those at the head of the field, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, will all go on to bigger and better things. I'll be disappointed if at least 4 of those haven't won by this time next season.